The narrative of white privilege is that all white people have privilege. So I'm asking, who are the white people that don't, and what are the situations in which they don't have privilege? So you said white people are homeless. But if you have a white person who's homeless and a black or brown person that's homeless, who has more privilege?
I would obviously say the white person then. I mean, I guess it's all situational, but I would say, yes, that person is still overprivileged over, a black person.
So when you say it's situational, what do you mean by that?
It's not an every time thing. If I see two homeless people, one is white, one is black, I might not give anything to either of them. I might give something to both of them. But it all depends on who I am as a person. If I decide I want to give them money, it might be that the white person does get more money than the black person, but I wouldn't still say that person is privileged in their life.
A lot of people think white privilege is getting something tangible for being white, or being guaranteed something tangible for being white. And since that's not the case, people say, see, white privilege doesn't exist. So we have to look at the usage of privilege. As I like to say, I like to explain things based on things we already understand. Most of us would agree that when we compare the United States to war-torn countries, we as citizens of the United States are privileged to live in a country that isn't war-torn, right? In this case, the privilege isn't something we get, rather it's something we don't get, or in this case, have to deal with. White privilege does exist for every white person inside the system of white supremacy, or as I call it, the legacy of white supremacy, since there are no longer any laws in the books. Now, the system gives the white privilege its privilege. Think of it as preferential treatment or favor extended to white people inside the system. That system is a network of human activities that include status, economics, and law enforcement. The preferential treatment or white privilege doesn't mean white people don't have to work hard or their life will automatically be easy. It doesn't mean white people can't be poor or homeless. It doesn't mean that white people have a privilege throughout space-time. It means white people get several not having to deal with benefits of being white in this specific country, in this specific system, at this specific time in history. So, in the video, the hypothetical homeless white guy will not have any privilege over the hypothetical homeless black guy because they are both outside of the system. Again, the system of economics, law enforcement, and status. Think of it like this. TSA PreCheck. Now, TSA PreCheck is a service that allows members to bypass a lot of the security protocols at the airport. If your boarding pass is stamped with TSA PreCheck, you will most likely have an easier time getting through airport security than someone who does not have their boarding pass stamped. This doesn't mean you don't have to go through security. It doesn't mean you won't get stopped in security. It just means your time through security will most likely be easier than someone else's. But once you leave the airport or the system, your TSA PreCheck doesn't give you any more privileges over anyone else. So the real question would be, once these two hypothetical homeless people decided to enter back into the system, who would have a better opportunity of reacclimating?